What's going on, guys? We're here in the lab. It's your boy Norm here. We are doing the spicy ground turkey burger today. This is probably one of my favorite meals. We just need a few things. First thing being lean ground turkey. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say the turkey's kind of bland, dries out and all that stuff, but we got a little secret here that we're going to do to make sure that that doesn't happen. We're going to pulse up some hickory sticks and fire it in there. So to get those done, you can have a food processor. I use the coffee/spice grinder. I find that just does a quick job. It gets it really fine. So a lot of time in like a burger of some sort, what you'll do is you have like a breadcrumb and seasoning. This covers both because what it's going to do is the hickory sticks is going to absorb a little bit of extra moisture, and you're also going to get the salt from it and the seasoning to flavor the burger at the same time. The other thing that you're going to need is now I buy the package of coleslaw mix. You don't have to, you can make it yourself. I find it's kind of a waste because you're going to buy a whole cabbage, you're going to buy a pack of carrots, you're going to buy all that stuff that's going to come with it. I don't bother. This is super easy and it's already done for you, so I just get that. With that, we're going to get an aioli. I buy the one from Costco. Now you can make your own in this. This is a spicy jalapeno aioli. If you don't like spicy, you can just use regular mayonnaise. If you can't get the one from Costco, you could probably mix like mayonnaise and hot sauce together and get a similar effect as this. That's going to be the dressing for our slaw that goes on top of the burger. As well, we're going to get pickled peppers. These came from my friend Luke. I'm going to give them a shot, and I just opened these today. They taste pretty good, so I'm going to put those on. Your favorite hot sauce. If you don't like hot sauce, I would recommend possibly barbecue sauce. And if you don't, well, again, if you don't like spicy, you don't have to do the jalapenos at all. You could probably just throw on some like chopped onions or something like that. And the last thing that we need is, second last thing that we need is a nice roll to put it on. I bought Kaiser buns because they're nice and big and fresh. And what's that? Bacon. Because we need bacon on everything. Now that's a slab that I cured and smoked myself. I have another video coming where I'm going to do that and show you exactly how to make the homemade bacon. But these are all the ingredients that we need. So the first thing that we're going to do before we do anything else is we're going to get that spicy slaw going. So I'm only going to do a couple burgers, probably one or two for today, and then maybe one for tomorrow because I only have about a pound of lean ground turkey. So I'm not going to use this whole bag of coleslaw mix. It's kind of a waste. So I'll probably put about half in. And then we're going to hit it with that, probably not too much, like maybe about a half cup or so of that aioli. And then we're going to just get that mixed up. So once that's mixed up, we're going to pop that into the fridge. So you don't want too much because then it's going to be really soggy because you still want to get that crunch. So just mix in enough so that you can still get the good crunchy texture from the cabbage and stuff. And then we'll pop back that into the fridge for, well, as long as it takes to cook the rest. So we're talking about probably 20 minutes or so. And then we'll be ready to eat. So I'll get that in the fridge and then we're going to move on to the next step. So I'll be back in 2 seconds. All right, guys, we're back. So the next thing that we have to do, get our hickory sticks going. So I like these. I mean, you can pretty much use any chip if you want to flavor it with. I like these because I like the taste that goes with the turkey, and hickory sticks are bomb. This bag is a little light. I bought them last night and they seem to be almost all gone, so I don't know what happened there. But I feel like we're going to have to call Angela Lansbury because that's a fucking mystery. But anyways, put that right into the spice grinder that we have, which is probably about a cup or so, maybe a little more. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pulse that down and then mix that in with the turkey. So I'm going to shut this off while I do that because this is going to make a racket. And I'll be back in 2 seconds when we get that mixed in. All right, guys, so we got the hickory sticks ground up. It pulses down to not a whole lot, actually. get that into the ground turkey. So you're going to notice that it is a little gummed up in the bottom. So you're going to have to get in there with a fork or whatever. I'm just using my finger because I'm an absolute creature and I do things like that. And why dirty up another thing that the girlfriend's going to get mad at me about that I didn't need it dirty. So these are all for me anyway, so whatever. So get that in, and then you got to start mixing that up. So you mix it all up by hand and get it so that it's a nice consistency. It might take a couple of minutes, but don't worry about it. Again, if you don't want to get your hands full of gross meat juice and all that stuff, just throw on a pair of gloves. If you don't have a pair of gloves, if you're one of the fortunate few people left that have a Sobeys bag, you can put your hand in a Sobeys bag, or you can throw the meat in like a Ziploc bag or something like that and just kind of mix it up. I don't mind getting my hands dirty, so I'm just going to mix it up like this. So make sure that those crumbs are evenly distributed throughout the meat, and then we're going to start forming patties here. So I'll be back in 2 seconds, and we're going to start doing that, and then we're going to get the pan going, and we're laughing. All right, so while I was gone, I got the cast iron pan out, got that on about 4, so a medium heat, turned the oven on to preheat for 400. So what I'm going to do is I like to start these in the cast iron skillet, let them cook about halfway, then finish them in the oven. When they're in the oven, towards the end, what I do is I melt some cheese over them. I forgot to mention that at the beginning, but I got some nice aged cheddar that I'm going to melt over this at the end. So now I'm going to cut my bacon, because again, this is homemade, and I don't have a slicer. So everything is cut by hand, so it's a nice thick cut bacon. You can buy whatever you like from the store, whatever your favorite is. I like the thick cut myself, not everybody else does. If you do like thick cut, I know that Costco specifically sells like I think it's about a 2-pound pack of thick maple bacon. It's about 15 bucks. I think it's 2 pounds, it's roughly that, but I usually do my own, which I'm fortunate enough to actually have some left right now. So I just have this on a little thing here. So that's the homemade stuff. That's gonna go on at about, like I said, medium heat till it's done. You eyeball that. I'm not going to tell you how well to do your bacon. And right before that goes on, we're going to start forming our patties. Now, we had about a pound and a half here of ground turkey. So I'm probably going to make 3 or 4 because I want a fair sized burger. So, a little tiny bit more here. So this is going to be roughly the size of the patty that I'm making. That's about 5 inches or so in diameter. So I'll make probably 3 or 4 of those. I'm going to do the others later. For the purpose of this, I'm just going to do the one for what I'm eating now, and then I'll get the others ready, and then I'll either eat one tomorrow and maybe one the next day, or eat one tomorrow and then another one tomorrow, or another one tonight, or run one over to the neighbors. I don't know yet. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is get the bacon going in that cast iron. That'll take about 5 minutes or so, maybe 10 minutes to cook. You don't hear that sizzling because I just put it on. Don't worry about it. You can put it in a cold pan. Once that comes up to temperature, it'll just start frying. It's no different than if you just started off in a scalding hot pan. So we'll come back in a few minutes once the bacon's done. Then we're going to go to the rest. All right, guys. So what I did now is I finished with the bacon. I got that out on a sheet to rest. Don't worry about it getting cold because it's going to go back into the oven on the burger. So what I'm going to do now, I strained off the excess bacon fat, but I left a little shine in the pan, just enough so that we can get this cooking. So what we're going to do is we're going to fry this for about a minute or so aside. Listen to that. So yeah, we're going to get that going just to kind of get a little char on the outside. So we'll do that for about minute and a half on one side, flip it, minute and a half on the other side. Then we're going to get it into the oven just to kind of cook through. I'll get that going. Then I'm going to come back. Then we're going to finish this up. So all we need now is to get our cheese, and then we'll top it, and we're laughing, boys. See you in a minute. All right, guys. So with the turkey in the oven finishing up, we got to get our roll cut because we're going to finish this in the oven. We're going to give that a little toast. So we want to cut this through. Make sure it's even. There we go. So what we want to do is we want to get that toasted up so it's going to hold up to some of the wet ingredients a little bit better, like the hot sauce and the coleslaw that we made. And while we're at it too, I'm going to slice up some cheese. Now don't worry about the slicing of the cheese. It's gonna melt all over the burger, so don't worry about what cutting it looks like. You can grate it, shred it, do whatever you want with it. Looks like there's a bite mark taken out of one end of this, so not sure what happened there either. I suppose we'll have to call Angela Lansbury in for that one too. Fucking mystery number 2 here. So I'm just gonna slice this up, and then what's gonna happen is at about 10-15 minutes, I'm going to take the turkey burger out. I'm going to top it with the bacon, cover it in cheese, put it back in for a couple minutes, just long enough for it to melt. Then we're going to eat. All right, guys. So I'll finish this up. I'll come back when that turkey's coming out of the oven. And we're laughing. All right, guys. So the timer just went off. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take out our turkey burger. There we go. Huge. Move that aside. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the bacon on top of her. Then we're just going to cover it with the cheese that we cut up earlier. We're going to get that back into the oven. At the same time, I'm going to fire in that roll, open face down, get that toasted up. Then we're going to be ready to eat. We're in the end game now. All right, guys, let's get everything together. So we got our nice roll toasted. There's about a minute left on the timer there. So what I'm gonna do is I got some hot peppers. What I did is I mixed the jalapenos with a little tiny bit of banana peppers. We're gonna get that on the bottom. Now, what I do after the hot peppers, you don't have to do this again. You can do barbecue sauce. I do a little hot sauce. I'm using the Maritime Madness Bacon Blaze. It's similar to the East Coast one that I really like. It has a little bit of a bacon flavor to it. So I'm going to hit the bottom with that. Then we should be getting a beep here in a couple seconds. I'm saying, oh, there we go. So our turkey burger is done. There you go. So what we're going to do, shut that oven off. If you're using a cast iron like this, use your oven mitt. You're going to just murder your hand. You get that off, get that onto the burger. If you don't have a cast iron, you can start this in a regular pan, or you can transfer it over to a baking sheet in the oven. You can also just fry it in the pan. I like to do this because I'm going to finish it with the cheese anyway, so do it however you want. Once that's done, we're going to hit it with that nice coleslaw that we made. So that right there, that is our spicy hickory stick infused turkey burger with spicy coleslaw, jalapeno peppers, and hot sauce. All that's left now is to eat and, well, have a drink. I like the Tim's IPA from Big Spruce. You can obviously get whatever you want. That's my go-to. So let's get after it. Crush that down. there you go, guys. That is just deadly. So, again, this is probably about 5 to 10 minutes of work. Probably take about half an hour altogether when it's all said and done. This is my go-to. This is delicious. I hope you guys try this and enjoy it. Watch out, there's another video coming soon. Until then, boys, don't be hungry.